Hey guys, Crazy Postman here. I got a new toy in the mail today, a DJI Osmo Pocket 2 camera, the Creators Pack. So it comes with this nice little camera that's on a gimbal and a wireless microphone and a couple other goodies in the box. This isn't going to be a really technical review. I'll spout off a few facts here at the beginning and then I'll give my opinion, but most of it's going to be a comparison and just an example of the video that comes out of this thing. It's actually very small. The screen on it is like the size of a postage stamp. I know I say that a few times in this review, but it is very small. It's just barely useful. I mean, just barely. So the standard DJI Osmo Pocket 2 is actually quite small. It fits into your hand very easily and it's very easily usable. When you add the do-it-all handle, it does get kind of tall. I don't have a ruler here with me, but maybe 6 to 8 inches tall, just eyeballing it. So it does get a little bit bigger when you add the do-it-all handle, but it's still quite, easily controllable with one hand. Alright guys, just some quick facts here about the DJI Pocket 2 camera here. It has a 3-axis gimbal, so that's going to help you keep things steady. I think the only thing a 3-axis gimbal doesn't really help on 100% is walking. For the camera, you got a sensor of a 1 and 1.7 inch CMOS, 64 megapixels. The lens has a field of view of 93 degrees with the standard 20 millimeter equivalent attachment, the one that's built in to the camera. The specifications give ISO range and shutter speed. The important part is the camera can do 16 and 64 megapixel shots. Its video resolutions for 4K, it can do 24, 25, 30, 48, 50, and 60 frames per second. It can do 2.7K and full HD 1080p. But it only records in HDR at 2.7K and full HD, and only up to 30 frames per second. Now for the battery, it says it's 875 milliamp hours. And its operating temperature is from 0 to 40 Celsius, which is 32 to 104 Fahrenheit. And that kind of concerns me a little bit because the camera does get hot on its own. If you tell it to record in the best video quality, you get a warning that says that's going to create excess heat. So I have a suspicion that this camera will have overheating problems at 4K. Especially 4K 60. Now I'm going to tell you about some things that I don't like about the camera. For one, you have to sign your life away to DJI just to use the app. And I'm not even sure that you can use this camera without activating it. So you pretty much have no choice but to agree to their very lengthy user agreement. Another downside to this camera, you can't use the advanced features if you're recording in a higher quality. So like in 4K, you cannot use the active track or face tracking. It's not available. And that's pretty disappointing to me. Hopefully they can go ahead and find some way to enable that in a future firmware update. Another problem I've been having is with the live streaming. I couldn't get the YouTube settings to work with their default, stream with YouTube and you connect your account. I think it has something to do with YouTube's new, if it's for kids settings, they just haven't patched that into the app. So what I've been doing to get around that is just using the RTMP settings and putting in my YouTube URL, RTMP stream key, and streaming that way. I have found out the wireless microphone does not work during live streaming for me. I get a warning message on the screen that says that you have to disconnect the wireless microphone before streaming, but after you start streaming, you can reconnect it. Well, after you start your live stream, you turn the microphone on, it never reconnects. If it's something they can fix, maybe they'll patch it. But as of right now, at least me anyway, I can't stream live with the wireless microphone. Let's get in the park and we'll compare this DJI Osmo Pocket 2 to a GoPro 8. I did my best to make sure all the settings are identical on both cameras. This would be the standard walk and talk blog style. Now I'm going to jog for a little bit here. Now I'm going to jog for a little bit here. So this is our bomber here. It was donated to the city by the U.S. Air Force. It's a B-47E. Let's try to zoom in here and see what the zoom in capabilities are of each camera. Okay, the DJI can zoom in. It doesn't appear that the GoPro will zoom in while recording. Let me pause. Okay, the GoPro would zoom in, but I had to lower the quality to 1080p. So you're looking at a 1080p picture on the GoPro and a 4K picture on the DJI Pocket 2. Okay, here's the standard focal length on both cameras. The focal length on the Osmo Pocket 2 is about a 20 millimeter equivalent, and it's roughly the same on the GoPro in the linear setting. I'm going to go wide on both of them now and show you all the difference. Okay, both cameras are now in their wide setting. We'll do a quick jog in the wide setting to see if there's any difference. This is the wide shot. See how close we can get and still see the sign. All right, we can pretty much see the sign the whole way in. I think I'm done walking here in the park. Let's go back to the house and we'll do just a few more tests and then we'll wrap this thing up. Let's try out this active track. I'm gonna have to drop down to 1080p video real quick to do this. All right, here I am back at 1080p. What you do, you double tap your face here. Well, I guess I double tap the sky. Okay, face track on. It says it sees my face. So it still appears to be pointing at me. Like I say, the screen is the size of a postage stamp, so I can't see anything on the screen right now. I can see that it's lit up, but I can't see if I'm framed even in the center. But I can see the camera lens is pointed at me, so it does seem to be doing face tracking. Let's do a little zoom in action here. Oh, that is really close. Let me back up now and see how it keeps me in frame with the zoom on. Okay, I have no idea how I'm framed up, but it does still appear to be tracking me. So Hopefully it's framing me somewhere near the center of the screen. So this may not look very good because right now it is 1080p and it's zoomed in to 4x. I'm standing probably 10 feet away from the camera right now. Okay, so we're back on 4K 30 and I zoomed in to 2x. You're only allowed to go to 2x on 4K. So this is an example of the picture at a 2x magnification running 4K 30. There is no active track, so if I step out of frame, it's not going to follow me, unfortunately. Because if you're operating at a 4K resolution, you lose those advanced features. And I'm having a hard time seeing the little screen to see if I'm centered. And I'm kind of looking right at the lens. I can tell I'm in the center of the picture, but that screen is useless from here. Let's try something. Okay, so right now I've been using the wireless lapel mic for my audio. I'm going to turn that off, and I'm about 12 feet away right now. I'm going to turn off the wireless lapel and we'll see what my audio sounds like. I'm talking at the same audio level, the same voice level as I was before, but now the lapel mic is turned off and this is the microphones on the DJI Osmo Pocket 2 picking me up. And obviously there's very loud trucks over there, so that may be an issue because I'm not talking louder than I was before. So we're going to do an extreme range test right now. There's really no reason for this test because you would never get that far away with your microphone. But it's always good to know what's going to happen. If you get out on the edge, are you going to have static? Is it just going to cut out? What's going to happen? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into my house and I'll walk through each room and I'll check in with you from that room and we'll see what happens as I get further away. By the way, this is recording in 1080p right now. I'm just going to leave it in the backyard. Here I go. I'm going inside. I'll leave the dog out there so y'all have something to look at. Okay. So I'm standing in the laundry room now. This is only about 6 feet away. Obviously won't be a problem. Walking into the kitchen. Okay. I'm standing inside my kitchen now. I'm walking over to the dining room. I'm in the dining room now, standing in the center. I'm going to walk into the living room. This is the first room it might possibly have a problem because there's several walls in between me and the camera now. Okay, I'm continuing on. The next stop, I'm in a hallway. Now I'm in a bathroom, talking to you from the bathroom, just like we don't want anybody to do. And if you don't believe me, here you go. All right, you never want to hear that on the phone while you're talking to somebody. Okay, I'm moving on to the furthest point. I am now in the back bedroom. There's probably 5 to 7 walls between me and the camera right now. How do I sound? Can you still hear me? I'm in the very back bedroom of my house. Here I am back in the yard. So there you go. That's an example of extreme wireless mic range for the DJI Osmo Pocket 2 Creators Edition. I guess I'm a creator. Even though I'm kind of a novice, I'm still creating. So I guess I'm done with this review today. I hope you enjoyed seeing the camera quality. I hope I did a decent job showing you. I'm not a professional. Like I said, I'm not a professional. If I screwed up some of the specifications, it was just a mistake. Just use this for entertainment purposes only. This is just my opinion. All the disclaimers, I don't need to get in trouble by anybody. But just look at the video for yourself and see how it looks. And I appreciate you taking the time to watch my video. So I'll see you in the next one. So I was in the editing bay and I realized when I did that extreme range test I never got out of range. It never dropped out or anything. So I'm going to get in my car and back up down the street. So it definitely gets out of range. And we're going to see what happens to the audio. So I'm driving away. Here I go. Oh, here comes a car. Of course. I'm just going to drive to this white building over there and do a U-turn and come back. So surely it'll cut out soon, because I'm inside of a metal vehicle and it should not work. I'm definitely cut out now. Okay, I'm gonna go up here and do a U-turn in this parking lot. I'm definitely not being heard now. There's no way this microphone is still working. Okay, I'm coming back towards the camera, towards my driveway. Maybe I'm coming back into range now. So I'm pulling into the driveway. Here I am in the driveway. If you're just now hearing me, I don't know if it's reconnected. This is getting ridiculous. Okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get on the highway and drive 5 blocks down the road. We are definitely going to get out of radio range. Or I don't know. This thing's, I don't know. I ain't wasting time. Getting out of here. Okay, backing up. Okay, I am in the street. I don't know what this microphone's made of, but I'm going to call the FCC and let them know it's operating at an illegal power level. All right, I'm going to hit this stop sign up here. All right. There's probably, I don't know how you could possibly still be hearing me. But here we go. I'm pulling out onto the highway. All right, I am driving down the highway. Onto my street. And I guess, I don't know if it reconnects automatically or not, but I am pulling into my driveway, and this is going to be the end of the very extreme wireless microphone range test. If I didn't get out of range that time, I'm done. I quit YouTube. Pocket 2. And everybody's looking at me now. Man, I'm not gonna be able to do this. Is there a squirrel? Oh, is there a squirrel? Oh, it's on the ground right there. Yeah, I see it. There it is. He's going to cross the tightrope. There he goes. Don't fall. It's just about ran over my car. Oh my gosh. Get out of here. Get out of here, Mo. Oh man. He just about ran over everything I was doing.
Here is some information about DJI Osmo Pocket. How do you capture moments worth keeping? As the smallest 3-axis stabilized handheld camera, DJI